or silver in the edge. I didn't go black with this. This is going to be a personal unit, by the way. I didn't go black with this because the fingerprint situation, and it is a fingerprint magnet. I was hoping that gold maybe wouldn't show as many. So anyways, let's bust into this thing, show you guys what you really care about, and that's what's inside. So Samsung branding there. Really premium packaging, if you will. Samsung's doing a nice job with their packaging these days. Here is the gold phone. We'll slide it over there and see what else is in the box. So T-Mo SIM card, which I don't need. Looks like next up we have box with more than likely paperwork in there, but you'll see that is a SIM tool as well. So to pop out the SIM tray, we will need that. We do have this little interesting guy. So USB connector. I'm pretty sure, and I haven't actually seen this happen yet, but you should be able to tether two Galaxy devices together and transfer. So why they're giving you this is so you can plug this into one end of a Samsung phone and your USB cable into here, and then the micro USB tip into another phone and transfer data, connect things, do all of that fun stuff. That's basically what we're doing here. So you do get this extra little connector. Here's your USB cable. This is an adaptive fast charging adapter. So fast charging on here, not Qualcomm Quick Charge, Samsung's own sort of charging technology. And here are earbuds. So Samsung is tossing in earbuds. They've been doing that for a while. I don't know if they've ever used those. If you've used those, leave a comment or something and tell me what you think about their buds. So let's take off plastic because no one likes to look at plastic during unboxing videos. And we will fire up as well. All right, so phone in hand, again, gold model, obviously it is gold as hell. So minimal S7 branding here, Samsung here. And again, this is a T-Mobile model. If you had Verizon or AT&T, you would see AT&T logos and Verizon logos and that sort of thing. So the T-Mobile models are obviously always going to be a better option if you don't really like seeing carrier branding. And you should be able to unlock this thing to work it on AT&T as well. So just keep that in mind. So again, gold model. Let's run through specs. We've got a 5.1 inch Quad HD Super AMOLED display, which DisplayMate has already called the best smartphone display ever made. Have a physical home button down here, which is slightly squarer, I would say, compared to last year's S6. Doubles as a fingerprint reader, so we'll obviously test that to see how that goes. Capacitive back and app switcher buttons there as well. Front camera up top, 5 megapixel f1.7, so it should be good in low lights, and 5 megapixel is enough resolution for those selfies. If we take a tour to the side, you do have volume rocker in that similar spot over here on the left, and on the right you do have a power lock switch. If we go up top, you actually see this little slot right here. That is your SIM tray, which doubles as a micro SD slot. So the phone comes with 32 gig of storage in the US. We may get 64 gig models later on down the road, but out of the gate, they're only selling 32. And this slot will come in handy because you can toss an SD card in there up to 200 gigabytes. So you can add on quite a bit of expandable storage. You can't use Marshmallow's adopted storage, which we've written a post about. You can check that out at the site, but you can expand it up to 200 gigabytes for photos and videos and things like that. You'll see right here, it says Qualcomm 4G, this little sticker, which I'm going to take off right now because stickers do drive me nuts. So this is running Qualcomm Snapdragon 820, and that is the model we're getting in the US, is the Snapdragon 820 powered version. I believe in Canada and elsewhere they're getting Exynos powered S7s. We got the Snapdragon 820. On the back here, 12 megapixel camera with dual pixel technology. So that's down from last year's 16 megapixel shooter, but that's the difference between 12 and 16 is resolution. There's still big enough photos that you can share and print them if you need to and things like that. But in our short time with this phone a week or so ago, we were pretty impressed at how fast it focused and shot photos in decent light, poor light, all of that. So you do have your LED flash over here and heart rate sensor. Has a 3000 milliamp hour battery on the inside, 4 gig of RAM, and NFC, MST. So MST is going to be your technology that powers Samsung Pay and allows you to tap terminals and pay essentially at any location. The other big thing here is IP68 water resistant. So if we take a look at the bottom, which we haven't done yet, you do have your speaker, there's a microphone, micro USB port, so that is not USB Type-C, and there's your headphone jack. But what I'm saying about the IP68 water and dust resistance is you don't really notice anything weird going on in terms of ports being covered or uncovered or protection. They were able to do it manufacturing with water resistance without sort of giving up the look. And Sony's been able to do this with some of their phones for a while, but you don't have flaps and ports and things like that like you may have had on your Galaxy S5, which was also water resistant. So at IP68, we're talking full dunking in water, using underwater to take pictures if you want. You can rinse the phone off if it gets dirty under a faucet, take it into a pool, just not too deep. You can sort of do a lot with that. And then I didn't mention this, but it does have fast wireless charging, just like the Note 5. So it has fast wired charging, but wireless as well. So if you have a fast wireless charger from Samsung, you just drop this bad boy on there and it'll charge up fairly quickly, just like it does when it's wired. So a lot of stuff in here. We really want to dive into it. I'm not going to go over software right now. We'll save that for another video. But really, really excited to see what Samsung's done a year later from the S6. If you just want some impressions in terms of how it feels in hand, again, I'll just say this. This phone feels incredible in hand. So the S6 was one of my favorite phones of all time, just in terms of in-hand feel. And that's just because of the size and the way it fit and the finish and all of that. So this phone, because they added a bigger battery, we get this sort of subtle curve and almost, I don't want to call it a hump, but it's definitely a little humpier than the S6. And so that roundness in hand just feels really, really good. It seems to really add to the ergonomics of the phone. So it's one of those phones where, you can get up to the notification shade and back down without much of a shimmy. And, I have pretty normal average hands, I would say. And this is one of those phones that just fits really, really nicely. So really ready to take this for a spin and let you guys know everything there is to know about this phone. So if you have comments, questions, or there's anything really, really in particular you want us to dive into, we can do that. And again, we will have S7 Edge along shortly. But for now, this is Samsung Galaxy S7. We're Droid Life. Peace.